Hi, I'm Zarar from Raptors Republic, and today we're going to look at Terence Davis in a little bit more detail. He had a pretty good series against the Nets where he went 7 for 12. However, against the Celtics, he was only 1 for 7, and Nick Nurse gave him the hook as he shortened the rotations and preferred Norman Powell over him. I looked at all of his three-point shots, and honestly, I couldn't find too many instances where he took bad shots. He more or less took the shots he was supposed to take. He just missed them. So it's not very interesting to me to analyze them. But I do want to focus on his playmaking and his attacking. Why? Because at 6'4", he's a combo guard and probably has a Norman Powell-ish type frame around him. The Raptors probably see him as something like that. And over the last 6 games that he played in the playoffs, there are enough instances of that which gives us a glimpse of what he's capable of. And that's what I'm going to focus the next little bit on. This video is divided into 2 parts: his attacking / scoring and his playmaking. So let's have a look and let's see what we see. Here he goes down the middle, but there's nothing there. So he goes to the wing position where he usually is waiting for a pass to catch and shoot. And that's what he's really comfortable with. And that's where a lot of his offense or shots from in the series kind of came from, or in this playoffs rather. But in this case, he sees a defender, close him out. But notice how the defender is playing him to go to the right. And he realizes that and crosses him over and goes to the left. And as he gets into the paint, there's a tendency here sometimes for players to just go and force the issue at the rim against trees, which we saw a lot of in the Boston series. But here he has the awareness to kind of pull back with that short fade that can be critical for him because he's only 6'4", so it's not like he has great height. So if he's able to develop this short fade, and then he can use his quickness to get into the paint and use that instead of challenging guys at the rim, which we saw like other guys in the series do with little success, especially against Boston. This one here is just a rookie learning because as he brings the ball up the court, he's got Marcus Smart on him. He uses that screen kind of and gets the switch that he wants. So he has a bigger and slower Tice on him. And at this point, he has a couple of main options. Like the first one is to take him to the rim, and the other is to use that short jumper against Tice. He chooses to go to the rim, but look at that. As he drives, he goes to the other side of the rim, but then uses his right hand to finish. Now, this might have worked in college where guys don't have the same length as the NBA, but in the NBA, you got to develop a left hand so you can kind of shield the ball with your body and finish with your left in these situations. This is a blowout situation, so keep that in mind. And I want to call out 2 good reads he makes on this play. The first is that he's got Tatum on him, a pretty good defender, so he uses the screen and gets the weaker Wanamaker on him. At this point, that's a decent matchup for him, certainly easier. And then the second read is that there's no shot blocking inside because Tice is paying attention somewhere else, so he attacks. And that's good to see. It's always good to see rookies attack instead of being passive, and he does that here. Sure, he misses the layup, but 2 good reads on one play. I wanted to show this play because Brooklyn, as the Raptors bring the ball up the court, are in a zone. And what do you do against a zone? You attack it. And Davis does that right at the handoff here. And he misses the layup, but instinctually, it's a good play as he attacked the zone and just couldn't finish. This is Davis at his best against an unsuspecting defense, slow to respond to an impending threat. I picked this play because it requires a split-second decision. He comes off the screen here and has Tatum trailing him. At this point, he has to make this pass right here because any sooner this pass is made, Ibaka doesn't catch it in rhythm, and any later it's made, Tatum catches up to him or Ibaka's man recovers. So this is when this has to be made, and he does a good job of making a nice little bounce pass which Ibaka catches and then finishes. And this is important because in his position, we would expect him to handle the ball a little bit more. Basically what you would expect of a off guard. So it's good to see him have this awareness that it's not just about me shooting threes or me getting my own offense, but he's looking for other people situationally. It's not his full-time job, but he has the capability to make this play, and that's got to be an encouraging sign if you're positioning him to be an off guard. Davis has generally good instincts. Here as he catches the ball, he notices the defender a little out of sorts because their body weight is shifted to one direction, and he sees that as an invitation to attack, which he does. As he goes down the lane, the defense is forced to come and meet him, and what I want to point out is that the pass that he makes to Ibaka here, he knows he's going to make that pass before he even leaves the floor. That's what makes this a really great play because he didn't just improvise in the air, which is sometimes a bad sign because as soon as you jump, you should have a good idea of what you're going to do. Here he does that, and he seeks out Ibaka because in his head he had sort of planned this play, and that's a good sign for a budding point guard-ish guy. Davis loves to get bigger, slower guys on him so he can attack. Here he uses the screen to get the switch that he wants. He has a lob available at this point which he doesn't see, but that's okay. Instead, he shakes his defender to create some space. Then he picks up the ball at the right time and gives Ibaka just enough time to establish position, and then makes the pass to finish the play off. Some good point guard-ish play from a guy we probably want handling the ball a little bit more as his career progresses. So Tony Allen, right? He's Tony Allen. He's totally Tony Allen, even though I didn't show you a single defensive play. All joking aside, I like Terence Davis. He's a tenacious young guy. He had a rough start to the bubble with the whole mask thingy. But then he rebounded against the Nets and struggled against the Celtics. But overall, as you can see, he's got a lot of game in him, man. Like he knows his way to the rim. For sure, he's got quickness. He's aggressive. He's not passive by any means. His instincts are good around the rim. He knows when to pass, as you saw in a couple of plays there. And overall, I think he has a pretty bright future ahead of him as long as he keeps trying hard. And there's no reason to think he won't. He's already accomplished a lot, going undrafted and all that. So I think the future's bright for him, and I'm rooting for him. If you have any thoughts on other players or any aspects of the game that you'd like to see us cover, email us at raptorsrepublic@gmail.com. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Goodbye.